Hello, hello, hello. Sean Brady here with another fabulous hour of Leverage Your Lunch Hour. And boy, do we have a special treat today. We have the one, the only, the fabulous Meredith McVehil, who has not only just been a great longtime friend and great networker around St. Louis, but she is now a certified Dave Ramsey preferred money coach. Yes, you know her as Meredith, the money coach. Meredith McVehil, how are you today?
You know, Sean, thank you for having me today. I'm really good. And you are a bolt of energy. So I'm even better than I was 20 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh, come on. We love it. So for those that don't know, Dave Ramsey's been on the air for a couple of decades now. And Meredith, you've taken up the reins because you have used some of Dave's practices. I've used Dave's practices, his baby steps, all these other wonderful things. And we want to share a couple of things out there for people that they can apply right today. And I know you'll have some infographics and some cool things that we can share online and you get to you. But take us back a little bit. What had you go down to become a money coach?
Well, great question, Sean. So years ago, my former husband and I invested in a real estate property, which in and of itself is a great idea, but we did it at the wrong time, right? So it was horrible. It was a bad nightmare. And he and I ended up in about $38,000 worth of debt because the market crashed right after we bought this property. And we had another business that was cash flowing. So anyway, long story short, we took the Dave Ramsey class called Financial Peace University. And I learned how to budget. And I say I, because I really did most of it on my own. I learned how to budget and get us out of debt. So we paid off $38,000 worth of debt. And I became just passionate about living on a budget, and then became a single mom. That marriage dissolved, and I became a single mom living on a cash flow plan and living on a budget. And now I'm happy to say that I'm happily remarried as of 4 years ago to a wonderful man by the name of Jeff. And in his divorce, he had absorbed $200,000 worth of debt. Yeah, 16 credit cards.
Whoa!
And a second mortgage on our home. And
wow.
So when we became one, it was like, okay, well, we're one now, and this has become our debt. So he and I, I'm pleased to say, I taught him what I had learned in Ramsey, and we were able to pay off $200,000 worth of debt in just over 2 years. So, because of that, I became so passionate about it. And I thought, you know what? 80% of people, Sean, are living paycheck to paycheck. There's an underlying need and want to take control of our money, but an anxiety with a lot of us, singles, individuals, families that want to take control of their money, but they don't know how to do it. And so I thought, you know what? I can be that person because I've been there. So I am passionate. That is my why, truly. Out of gratitude for what God has blessed us with, is just to pass this information along because I can empathize with what it's like, and I get to guide people from that financial overwhelm to financial peace using these simple steps.
That's so awesome. And I know you had some couple of cool things that I wrote down that I'm like, oh, we got to talk about these cool things today because they really do affect. And I didn't realize this, but you mentioned something about grocery budgeting.
Yeah.
And the thing that caught my ear, because people know me as Brady Eats as well, right? I do the grocery shopping in our household, the majority, and Michelle does some as well. And you said something that kind of caught in my brain, that everybody overspends on groceries. Mm-hmm. Yep. Say more about that.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, it's crazy. So like we said, 80% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, right? Mm-hmm. And the majority of us are using plastic, whether it be a debit card or credit card. So all of us walk into a grocery store and we have 3 things on our list and we walk out having spent $100, right? Oh, we need chips, but wait, the salsa would be really good with it because that queso sitting right there, we'll grab that too, or whatever, right? So we walked with these bags when we walked in with 3 things. And so we all overspend in this area. It's just kind of a common thing. And so one of the things that when I see when they send me their numbers and I'm looking at their debt situation, I say, what's the average grocery bill? And we look at that. And typically people are spending about 20 to 30% more than they need to be, especially in the area of groceries. Now, groceries is different than eating out. So we have groceries, so we have the food category, but groceries and eating out together should only combine 10 to 15% of our total take home pay.
Whoa. So Hold on a second. So 10 to 15% of our total
Take
eating
home.
budget.
Nope. So your monthly income, monthly
income. Yes.
monthly income. So you only want it to be 10 to 15% of that total monthly income after taxes, right?
Wow.
Hypothetically, if you're bringing home $5,000 a month, total food about should be $500, 10 or a little bit more,
Okay.
Combined with restaurants, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Then that's with restaurants. So that's going to the grocery store and you're going out to eat fund.
Right.
Whether it be McDonald's or someplace fancier.
Yeah. I mean, think about how many times we hit through the drive-through, right? Because kids are coming home from sports or whatever. I mean, I love drive-through. Okay, Mom, we want Chick-fil-A or whatever, and it's 20 or $30. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying build that into the budget because it's a common area that we can cut. And if we cut in that area, we can pay off our debt.
Right. Now, I roll my eyes a little bit because it's great to be a reminder. Michelle and I do practice this, and we did go to McDonald's the other day through the drive-through, and it was something we had budgeted for. So it was, and I forgot that we had budgeted for that. It's like, oh, okay, we're okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You said a key word. A budget sounds, when you ask people what do they feel when they think of the word budget, it sounds and feels constricting. But look at it, money is fluid. So it can become a cash flow plan. And then you're giving yourself, like you did, permission to spend. So it's just giving permission to spend. We're going to go to McDonald's, but we're okay with that because we built that into the cash flow plan. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think because we were more money conscious, you better believe that I was looking at the app. I'm like, I probably spent way too long figuring out the mathematics on the value meals and whatnot. Weighing the cost. It's like, can I save $1 if I get this drink versus in the meal? I don't know. And I did know because I figured it out. So that was great. And you're right. Having a budget, it actually creates freedom versus constriction. And
right.
For those that know, I'm the free spirit in our relationship. I am not the money nerd. That would be Michelle.
So can we talk about, because you've been through Ramsey, but maybe
yes,
free spirit.
Absolutely.
So do you want me to talk about that or you?
You talk about it.
Okay. So for the couples that are watching, right, or the people that are dating, in the Ramsey world, in the Ramsey language, typically most relationships have a free spirit and a nerd. So the free spirit, you're a free spirit, right? The free spirit doesn't really like the feeling of a budget, walks into a store and might buy 5 things, right? Just, oh, that's great, or wants some permission to spend a little bit more. The nerd loves the budget. They want the spreadsheets, right? They want to know that every dollar is accounted for, and we're going to stick to the list, and we're going to stick to the meal plan. Now, some of us have a little bit of both, right? Like I'm a nerd because I do the budget for Jeff and I, but if you get me into a golf pro shop, I'm a goner. I love clothes in a golf shop, right? I'm a free spirit in the golf shop, right?
Yes.
But if you take me to Target, I stick to my list. So everybody's a little bit different. So the beauty of having a free spirit and a nerd in a relationship, and what I encourage the couples that I get to coach, is that we do the budget together. So the nerd might put all the numbers on the table and say, okay, this is the mortgage, these are the utility bills, this is what we need to budget for, these are our bills. And then the free spirit comes to the table in the money meeting with some kind of fill in, well, let's add a little bit of cushion for eating out, or let's put a little bit more in there for shopping. Because the reality is, Sean, the spending is going to happen, but you come together and understand the limits that are being allowed within the budget.
Oh, I love it. I wanted to include Jaleesa on this because she and I have had other money discussions on air before. And Jaleesa, you got your ears on? She's our fabulous media coordinator in the background.
Love her.
Yep, I'm here.
Did you have any fun questions for Meredith? Because I know you and I had some other in-depth money conversations in some of our prior shows we had Carl, the mindset guy, and your focus guy. And then we also had Scott, who is also, another type of money coach. Mm-hmm. But what questions might you have, especially because we're all different ages here? Do you have any questions for Meredith? Because she's a great resource of information.
Yeah. So when you were talking about budgeting, you instantly got my mind kind of going. That's the process that I'm in right now, trying to budget. But what is the best way for you? Because you have expenses all over the place. You can have bills, you can have subscriptions, you can have, different things. And then sometimes you forget, hey, I have a birthday this month. I have to make sure that I'm getting my dad a birthday gift too. So what is your best advice for just kind of like creating like a map or like a laying it all out of all the expenses that you have, and how do you move forward with creating a budget?
Wow, great question.
I
How do you
love
answer that one, Meredith?
Yeah. So actually, another thing that we can provide for your listeners, and I can send it to you, is a cash flow plan. And so there's actually a worksheet that I get sent to my customers, and then they fill that out, and it just has all those things that you're talking about. So it embraces the utilities, it talks about the housing expenses, all of that. It even actually talks about things like gifts. So you mentioned your dad's birthday gift. So there's actually something like a gift idea on there, like a gift category, right? So we budget for these things. So you just plan for those expenses. Now, sometimes there can be things that are like irregular, like a gift. You may not have to buy a gift every month, right? So I coach people on how to set those funds aside. So when Christmas comes around at the same time every year, you have a gift budget already in place. So to answer your question, I can send you the form and then you can just fill it out. And it really counts for those things like subscriptions. There's a miscellaneous category, there's groceries like we talked about. It's about 3 pages, which sounds daunting, but really when you have it, it's just a great template to follow every single month. And I want to encourage the viewers today that every month is different, right? I think budget, we think, okay, like businesses establish a budget for a year. This isn't what we're doing. Every month, okay, December is a little bit more expensive than say February, right?
Right.
Or May is expensive with graduation gifts and things like that, right? And parties and all of that. So every month is going to be a little bit different because again, money is fluid. So it comes into our life and it leaves. And the idea behind a budget or a cash flow plan is to give every dollar an assignment. So we get to the end of the month and instead of saying to ourselves, where did all the money go? We know where it went because we told it where to go. Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
you.
I love that. Jaleesa, did
that
that
too.
create some stuff for you?
Oh yes,
Are
definitely.
you looking forward to get that money sheet?
I am. I really am. Thank you
Right.
so
And
much.
I'll say this for the other free spirits, now that you might know that what that is from earlier in this program. As a free spirit, I was always, no, I don't want budgets, paperwork, hated it. And it really does create a lot of freedom around your life when you do some of these things. So, absolutely 100% correct. I learned this from some other folks that currency, money as we know it, right, actually comes from the Latin root of current, and current like a river, which is flowing, right? And just like a river, what happens seasonally? Well, we know that there's going to be a rainy season, a spring, a winter meltdown. Our river's going to flow a little faster, or they're going to happen. We have a hurricane coming in. That's going to affect our water table. Our current is changing again. But the more we can plan and budget around these things, it actually creates more freedom and more space because we're prepared in a different way for it now.
I love that idea. I'm going to use that. Can I steal that? I made my
yes.
really great.
I just put it out there. We got it together. It's all good.
Absolutely. That's a really, really good idea. Yeah.
Meredith, this is too good. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to pause this show and create another episode because there's more stuff on my sheet that we want to cover with you, specifically Meredith, the money coach. How about that?
All right.
So they have it on this show. And Jaleesa, get ready to roll the little bumper video. Meredith, where can people get a hold of you? Meredith, the money coach, where's the best way and best form to get a hold of you? And I'll put it in the show notes too.
Thank you. Okay, great. So if anyone's interested in kind of talking through their money situation, there's just absolutely no obligation phone call. So I would encourage anybody to go to my website, which is ramseycoach.com/Meredith. And that you would schedule a call on my calendar and get on your call. We just have a question about what's going on. Or my Facebook group is Meredith Money Matters. So just request to join that and I'd be happy to add you to the group.
Meredith Money Matters on Facebook, everyone. Yep. And then we'll put her link to schedule time with Meredith down in the show notes. So perfect. Very cool. I love it. Well, we'll end this episode with a big thank you, Meredith, and get ready for another one. And as I say in all these shows, we may not see you in person, but we'll always see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching. Medici Booze, getting ready for the bumper video.
The bumper video.
The bumper video.